First of all, friendship is completely overrated when you're just doing it to seem like the cool person. And you aunties and uncles, you come to the front of the altar too, because y'all are the worst. Because what you do is you will sit there and you'll hype them up. You'll take them for a weekend. You'll tell the parents not to be so hard on them. You was young once, this, that, and that. We weren't young like this. You tired of lies and leftovers? The Real Black Agenda is crushing 3 bestsellers list. Grab it on Amazon or hit the link in my Instagram bio at @TheBusinessBully before they try and silence it. So, I was thinking about this because I see a lot of people who are my age, slightly younger, but my age primarily, talking about worrying about these kids out here causing ruckus, tearing up stuff, wearing poosh icy masks, and just doing absolutely nothing productive. And saying that we're in the midst of the largest YN apocalypse that has ever hit. And I gotta agree, we are. What boggles my mind is the fact that no one has asked why we're in the midst of a YN apocalypse. Now, between all of your fan twirling and your line dance learning and your criticisms of the Orange Man and your worrying about things that have absolutely nothing to do with substance, somehow, in some way, you let these kids fall through the cracks. I hate to break it to you, but the YN apocalypse is literally your fault. You can't blame it on rap music, even though that's a part of it, but my whole thing is, why haven't you monitored what your kids are listening? Why haven't you paid attention to what your kids are watching? Why do your kids have unfettered access to TikTok, Instagram, any type of social media without your direct intervention? I'll tell you why. Because you traded in being a disciplinarian for being their cool bestie. You literally will put up videos talking about, this is my broke best friend. Yeah, your broke best friend is dressing better than me. And I have a company with 300 employees. I'm not understanding how you don't take any responsibility for these kids going out here bashing each other's brains in, playing rogue stick-up kids like they're in some type of Fortnite Grand Theft Auto hybrid clash, but you spend time complaining about the YN apocalypse. And when I say you're to blame, somebody right now in the comments is bumping their thumbs saying, well, I don't even have kids, so how is it my fault? What have you provided for these young people? What kind of example have you provided? What type of resources have you provided? What have you done to cultivate the next generation of the so-called Black community? The answer is a big whopping warm bucket of hamster vomit. You've done absolutely nothing, so you can't be mad when they come on and they rob you. You keep talking like anytime somebody comes with correction when it comes to these kids, that we're somehow destroying their creativity. That, oh, well, we had our time in the sun and, these kids are going to be kids. Yeah, but I don't remember ever knocking anybody upside the head. I don't remember worrying about clout. These kids are more addicted to clout than our generation was addicted to crack in the 80s. This is absolutely insane, and they will do anything to get it. There was a kid who literally got unalived because he wanted to play a fancy game of ding dong dicks. Because clicks? Because views? I see these YNs going into places that have literally been designated sundown towns just to see what happens if they go there after sundown. I'm sorry, my favorite book says, do not tempt the Lord your God. I'm telling you, because Dave 316 says, you don't never go in no sundown town, partner, because you will get chopped up and forgotten about. You will be mulched by sun up, homeboy. But you're doing it because you want to go viral. You want to have a moment because you have not instilled anything in them. So they try to put everything on them. Views, likes, designer clothes, money, anything in order to say, I've got one up on my so-called community. And then what community do we actually have if we don't control it, if we don't own it? Everybody else is in our community doing what they need to do, getting to the bag that we're providing, but we're not providing any type of structure, any types of substance, any type of self-esteem and positive reinforcement to these kids. So they go out seeking the attention that you're not giving them because you got to work so hard. Work hard, yes, but working hard does not shirk your responsibility of being a parent, being a part of the community. And before you think I forgot about you, let's talk about you for a minute, Mr. and Miss, or whatever you're identifying, local politician. You absolutely suck. And I don't mean that as a euphemism. I mean, you're literally putting your mouth on a Hoover and just you suck. You want to know why? Because you're not providing anything. I'm sorry, your backpack drives are trash. Your barbecues in the summertime are laughable. Your stupid benefit concerts with some artist that's going to come in, do 3 songs, you didn't pay them $50,000, but the problem is still there. You haven't addressed the school to prison pipeline. You haven't addressed the fact that our rec centers look like trash throughout every black community in the United States. You haven't addressed that. I have talked to the president of city council, Kenyatta Johnson, about certain things that can be done. But a lot of times those types of things, just as using Philly as an example, get throttled. And the reason they get throttled is because nobody wants to really benefit growth for these kids, because there's an ecosystem, because we need a certain amount of cops that want a certain amount of overtime. We need a certain amount of judges to get elected. We need a certain amount of crime. We need a certain amount of littering. All of that feeds an ecosystem, because without the crime, we don't need as many cops. Without the littering, we don't need as many sanitation workers. Without having these programs that you know nobody's going to join because they're whack, you don't have an excuse to say, vote for me and I'll set you free. You say, you know what? We keep trying to provide resources and the resources are here, but you won't come to them. You know they're not going to come to them. In a environment where everybody wants to be an influencer, you talking about somebody being a trash man is about as unsexy as Kim Kardashian's last bowel movement. Nobody wants it. It stinks. And that's what you're missing. You don't want to do the thing that is going to set them free. Show them how to monetize what they're doing without putting themselves or other people in danger. But when we talk about the YN apocalypse, we don't ever talk about the solutions, because the solutions are very unsexy. And I talked about this in the Real Black Agenda. You need to start making sure we're taking ownership of everything, ownership of our narrative, ownership of our communities, ownership of our parenting, and ownership of the young people who do not come from our loins, but come from our circles. We used to be a village, but now we're a multitude of village idiots wondering why people are not taking us seriously. Don't respect you because you don't respect yourself. You want to be cool as opposed to being collaborative. You don't want to be functional. You want to be friends. First of all, friendship is completely overrated when you're just doing it to seem like the cool person. And you aunties and uncles, you come to the front of the altar too, because y'all are the worst. Because what you do is you will sit there and you'll hype them up. You'll take them for a weekend. You'll tell the parents not to be so hard on them. You was young once, this, that, and that. We weren't young like this. We were not young where there's a TV studio in everybody's phone. We weren't young where everything was about how you can get over on somebody else. We weren't young to a place where we didn't have anything to do but be destructive and disruptive. So you co-signing their BS is tantamount to giving them a license to kill. You need to stop. All of us. If you want to stop the young, I almost said it, the YN apocalypse, you have to start by giving them something to shoot for, showing them how they can get to the money. You can take $3,000 and go on Craigslist and get a used hot dog cart, or you can get a used vending machine, show them how they can go out and hustle and put something up where they're making thousands of dollars a month while sitting at home doing next to nothing for working 1 to 2 hours a day while they're setting something else up. We cannot pass your cool job and your 13,000 degrees that are more than what you have on a thermometer down to your kids. What we can do is teach them how to build legacy, teach them why infrastructure is important, teach them why mental health is necessary, why good physical health and great nutrition is sexy. You need to get involved, because the YN you hate is a direct correlation to the YN you created. You are the Dr. Frankenstein of the black community, and now that it's alive, you want to run from your responsibility. Shame on you. If you got something that you want to add or ask, you can always hit me right here at I Never Knew TV or email me, Dave@businessbullyshow.com. I'll see you next time. Hopefully, if I don't get knocked upside the head by a YN that you created.